Glamorgan captain Mark Wallace scored 100 to see his side easily pass the follow-on target in Canterbury as their LV County Championship match with Kent was drawn. Glamorgan began the last day on 264 for 7, still needing 43 more runs to avoid that follow-on, but after the addition of only one run, John Glover was legged before to Charlie Schreck, leaving it to Wallace and Dean Koska to work some magic for their team. Koska used the stand and deliver approach, while Wallace, who resumed his innings on 46 and was crucially dropped behind on 49, played some delightful shots through the offside in particular as the all-important target was neared. Once reached, that would signify the end of this match as a contest. It took this pair just half an hour to do that, this the moment which spared Glamorgan's blushes as Wallace cut James Treadwell for a couple to reduce the deficit to beneath 150. Not that this pair were now going to give their wickets away. After a tough start to this season as captain, Wallace is beginning to enjoy himself, something the Kent bowlers were soon finding out as he added an important 103 runs for the 9th wicket with Koska in only 19 overs. Wallace became Glamorgan's leading first-class run scorer as wicketkeeper during this knock. Koska fell for an excellent 47, playing on an attempted big hit off Darren Stevens at 368 for 9. But in the next over, Wallace was able to complete a brilliant 100, his second of the season. He'd come to the crease with his side in some trouble on 167 for 5, but in just under 4 hours, he'd reached 3 figures off 193 balls, an innings including 10 fours. He was finally out for 111, top-edging a paddle off Stevens to Michael Powell, but he'd seen his side to 389 all out for a first innings deficit of only 67. So the rest of the day simply gave the Kent batsmen the opportunity for a prolonged outdoor net session, and Sam Northeast in particular took full advantage of that. He shared in an opening stand of 58 with Rob Key, who was out for 20 when he shovelled a ball from Glover to Stuart Walters. Glover then trapped Ben Harmison in front for 13 at 88 for 2 before Northeast took over for the remainder of the day. The 22-year-old has missed part of this season through injury, but in company with Brendan Nash, he was making up for that. With Wallace giving some of his part-timers a chance with the ball, it wasn't the toughest attack he will ever face, nor was there any pressure on him with the draw long since a certainty. But he still had to play his shots, and play them he certainly did. He was rewarded for his efforts with a 159-ball century, his 11th boundary taking him there off the last ball of the match before Kent declared on 168 for 2. It was the 4th 100 of Northeast's first-class career. So in the end, this was a rather tame draw, the weather playing too much of a role earlier in the game. Kent had to settle for 11 points to Glamorgan's 9, and that keeps them right in the promotion mix with a big game against second-place Hampshire on the horizon. Kent are 5 points behind them, but with a game in hand.